Right, I forgot to click on Go Live. So we are boogity now, Carter. What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much. Just trying to find the live stream here.
Oh, I can mute that.
I sure can't do it. So hold on.
Yeah, it's on. It's official. We're rolling. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Beltro? I don't know if can you guys hear us now?
Yep,
What's up,
I can
Matt?
see it.
What's up? What's up? I might have to come up with a new name for Matt S. Instead of Coach Belichick, we're gonna have to go with
Bob Dylan.
No, I'm thinking. What's up, Justin? What's a guitar player? Joe Satriani. Yeah.
Joe Satriani, really?
Yeah. There you go.
Is he that good?
I don't know. I had the terrible misfortune of not being there to hear him. What's up, Hoss? What's up, Snows? What's up, John? Mr. Troll in the house. So, did everybody's team win this weekend? Ours did.
That is right. Ours did win.
That's 5 in a row, Carter.
Yep, 6 out of the last 7.
Yep. Who'd have thunk it, right? All right, so
man, I wish we could go back and listen to like the stream after I don't know, maybe after the Georgia game and just listen to all the things we said.
yeah. Well, you can actually, but So
yeah, true.
I was going to wait until we get more and more people in here, and it's not like we only get to talk about it one time. We'll talk about it as many people bring it up. What's up, Chandler? Chandler says, "Hey, I sent you dudes a friend request. I got a new phone and had to make a new Facebook." Okay.
Alrighty.
What's up, Bay Billikens? I ain't forgot about you, Caden. I gotta watch a video here in a minute. Juwan.
Oh, I figured we was gonna step into this mess.
Of course.
Stomp.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a stomp, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, Carter. Have you heard has anybody heard anything more about this today?
Not really.
I mean, that's good if they haven't brought it up. So I don't think it was a stomp as bad as it looked. What's up, Bucky?
I don't think it was either, man. Honestly, I don't think it was a stomp. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say it wasn't intentional. I don't know. There's only one person that knows if it was intentional or not, and that's Juwan Jennings.
It looked bad. I mean, it looked like when they were down on the ground, it looked like he was, giving him the business, as they say. Looked like he was, basically talking to him. And of course, when he stood up, it wasn't a freaking stomp, but still, a cleat to the face probably doesn't feel very good, no matter how violently it gets there.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that looked like it hurt like hell. But there's a lot of people. One thing I did read today was like after the game, the Juwan and that guy he stepped on like shook hands and like talked. And I guess I don't know if he like apologized to him or if but I guess they're okay. They're cool.
All right. You're muted, Carter.
I know that.
Oh, okay. It looked like you were still talking. Okay, my bad. All right, let me get this freaking video out of the way here. I promised these boys I'd watch and react to a Bay Billikens movie. They won't tell me whose grandma it is, which that's fine. You've seen some videos on YouTube, Carter, where they have the elder, we'll just call her the elderly lady on there, and they cuss and say things that you wouldn't expect an old woman to say, right? You ever seen any of those videos?
Maybe not the ones they're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, no, not this one in particular. Well, they turned me on to this here last week or week before last. I can't remember. And I started watching it, and some of them are really funny. I still don't get the premise behind these videos. She's talking, saying all this weird shit, and then all of a sudden she'll say something that's just freaking hilarious. So what did I do with it? I got it. I had it pulled up. See, I didn't forget you, Caden. I don't. All right, I'm gonna let the volume go so you can hear the volume. This is called Slanksgiving Celebratory Event at Bucky Beasts, and I'm not even going to attempt to explain it to you, Carter. We'll just listen and see what's up. 3 minutes. You ready? I guess so. You muted me, so.
BBED.
Oh, wait a minute.
Thanks for your subscription. This is a shout out for BBED. Thanks for your subscription. And now on to the next video. Hey, Bucky, are you here for the Thanksgiving celebratory event? Yes, babe. I'm getting ready to jizz in the Berkey.
Jizz in the Berkey.
Oh, Bucky, why would you say something like that? Bucky, if you jizz in that Berkey, I'm going to make you suck your own dig. Lagra, how's that smelly ass Berkey coming along? Cluck you, bae. Shut up, Balagra, you smelly ass bastard. Bae, you just go suck on a big fat chimichanga. Cluck off, you cog-sucking bitch.
God.
Can your clap ass please get that fluffing Berkey done? Hey,
Hang
Jimmy
on,
Kitties,
David.
I think the Berkey's about done. I'm hungry.
Okay, so
Benjamin,
hang on a second.
shut the cluck
Let me
up.
cluck this off. Caden Miller, my boy. Babe Villikins, Bucky Beasts, all of you guys that are behind this, you're scarring Granny for life. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that you're scarring your grandma for life. I'm assuming it's one of you guys' grandma. It is funny, and I'd love to know the story behind this, how you guys got started with the cluck you and cluck off and all that. So I guess I'll just tell you guys now, in case I don't see you again, Merry Clucking Christmas, and tell Grandma I said clappy claw days to her, and get the jizz off of her face, damn it, you nasty bastards. That was some crude shit for a grandma, wasn't it, Carter?
That was yeah, that was something.
What's going on, Sports Live? Uncle Lou. Yeah, Uncle Lou, I actually thought about Sports Live when I was watching part of that game. I thought, is he cheering? Is he yelling? Is he cheering and yelling? Does he yell and then cheer? Or I'd love to see how that works. Any ideas, Carter?
Well, he just said in the comments, "Go Jackets next season, go Dogs now." So whatever,
Okay.
whatever that's worth.
Hey, look, I gave up giving David shit about that a long time ago. To each his own. If it makes him happy, who am I to say?
Well, let me ask you this. So, David, what if, like, let's say, take California for instance, take L.A. You know, they've had. Who would you root for there? Would you be a Charger fan and a Rams fan? I mean, what if Atlanta got another NFL team, which will probably never happen, but I mean, Atlanta is growing every day. So, I mean, what if they got another team? What if the Jaguars moved up from Jacksonville to Atlanta and they were called the Atlanta Jaguars and they shared a stadium? Would you root for both those teams?
I guess a better question, Carter, would be, would you root for Atlanta when they're playing New Orleans if you're a New Orleans fan? No.
No.
I guess. I mean, I don't. Like I said, I gave up on that a long time ago. It did. All the shit that Uncle Lou's saying to him right now, all the shit that I've said to him for the last 10 years, apparently it doesn't bother him. Or if it does, he does a good job of hiding it. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I can understand one, like, okay, because I know people that like MTSU and like Tennessee, even though they do play every once in a blue moon. You know, there's people that maybe went to MTSU, and which I'm not saying I agree with that, but I mean, it happens. Like smaller schools, but Georgia Tech, that's a rivalry. They're both, you know, big programs, Power 5 schools, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of like if an Auburn, Alabama fan cheered for, and I've met people that are that way. I've met some
Casual
Auburn,
fans,
yeah, that like both teams.
some
And I'm like,
women.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I guess. I root for, I guess, if you want to say, or support East Tennessee State. But that's different. You're right. That's different. Anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get back to Juwan, JJ.
If we must.
Yeah, we must, because I can't think of anything else right now other than 7-5, going bowling, and we're back. Isn't it time to start saying we're back? I mean, isn't that
Not for me.
Well, no, of course not for you, but I mean our fan base. Isn't it? Isn't it about that time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody's ready to give the keys to the kingdom, and
got the greatest coach in the country. He went from being the heel 2 games into the season to being the
babyface
candidate for coach of the year, which he probably would win if it wasn't for corn dog boy.
Well, if he would have beat Georgia State and possibly BYU, then that would be definitely something we would consider.
Well, we beat BYU all but 16 seconds. But I guess that's why they play 60 minutes, isn't it?
That's true.
Man, dude.
Did you see the end of the I mean, or go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to talk about.
I was going to say, did you see the end of that Chargers Broncos game?
No.
That was some crap.
No.
There was like, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds, and they throw a bomb, and the Chargers player or the Broncos receiver like ran into the defender, and he fell down. So they got a 15-yard penalty. The Chargers did, and or not a 15-yard penalty. They got a pass interference. In an NFL, it's a spot of the foul, so it put the Broncos in the field goal range. They won the game with 3 seconds. But
weird.
That was just
weekend.
I just don't like the
that.
NFL. Yeah, I don't like the NFL's rule of a spot foul. I never.
You don't. You like the 15-yard penalty thing?
I guess.
Screw that, man. I'm a spot foul kind of guy, especially if it's like a critical time, and you throw a 40-yard pass, and you know what I'm saying. 15-yard. Some of the high school rules are weird too on pass interference. You don't get a first down. It looks like the rules would be uniform all the way through. But before I forget, how about the dude, the GOAT, if you will, for Mississippi State or for Ole Miss?
Oh, geez.
That was freaking hilarious, man.
Yeah, it cost him the game too.
It did. That's why it was so hilarious to me. I mean, it was. I'm not a big fan of, that kind of celebrating. Whatever, their kids do, whatever. Have fun, enjoy it. But that one, that was a good one. He should have saved that one for after the game and went out there and did it on the M in the middle of the field. I've never seen that one before. Have you? That's the first time I've seen the old cock and fire.
No, I've never seen that, but it was definitely a good one. But had that been one of our players in that situation, we lost the game.
Oh my God, we'd have killed him. We'd have hung him out. And, it'd been bad. There was something else, and I started to write it down. I was starting to say something a minute ago, and then I went ahead and let you finish and forgot what it is because I'm old, decrepit, my memory sucks ass. Talking about the fired coaches.
Matt
Damn it.
Luke was fired from Ole Miss today.
Mm-hmm. And there's to you, coffee drinkers. Too much MEC. I smoke entirely too much. Damn it, what was I going to say? Because it was earth-shatteringly important. You know, if I was going to say it, it was important.
And I ruined it.
Yeah, you did. You ruined it. That's okay. It's not the first time. So, that's going to drive me crazy. What's going on out in West Tennessee, Carter? Fill us in. What's all the hot happening spots out there for when we get put in a bowl game somewhere on the other side of the state, and it pisses me off, and I end up coming out there.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, the projections, which are not always right, by the way, but the projections have us in the Outback Bowl against Row the Boat, Minnesota.
I would be okay with that. How about you?
I mean, yeah, I'd be, yeah, sure. Part of me does want us to stay in state because I'd like to go. You know, I'm not going to drive all the way down to Tampa. Tampa's too far. Jacksonville,
That is a long way.
that's doable. You know, Jacksonville's very doable. But Tampa, no, that's too
I
far.
remembered it. Come back to me. Lou, if you're still in the room, the little bet now contest we were doing, I don't know where you're at in this thing, or if you're even in it with me and Billy and Catfish. I think you are. I don't know where you stand because we don't have standings telling us where we're at. But going into the weekend, I had 21, 21, 24. I had $2,121.24. I bet on 5 games, threw the damn thing away. Bet on 5 games, won all 5 of them, except, I won 4 out of 5, and the one I lost was the freaking Georgia Tech game. My dumb ass took Tech in the points. I thought your first half garbage ass offense would score about 30 in that game. I thought you guys would win like 30-7 or something like that, and you would cover. So anyway, I put 200 on that. Put 200 on 4 of them, and then on the Ohio State game, I put 1,300 on them to cover. So I ended up winning close to $2,000. So I go on Bet Now today to look and see exactly what my total is, and nothing's changed. I'm like, what the hell? Oh, they must wait till Monday. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I check every Sunday. What the hell? I forgot to click save. So none of those bets counted. Not a damn one of them. So
You and technology.
well, this had nothing to do with technology. This was, I don't know what the hell I was doing that night, because I mean, you make your picks, you go in there and put how much you're going to bet on it and go down to the bottom and click save. I just forgot to click save, damn it. So today I had to bet on, I didn't have to, but I want to catch Billy. Billy's ahead, I guess, and I wanted to catch him. So I went and bet on every NFL game except for, I think, except for tomorrow night's. So the only game I got left is the Patriots game right now. I took the Pats to cover, and I'm even for the day. Of course, you don't break even with Bet Now. If you technically, if you're even, you still lose. So I need this game tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give this one away, but it could change. But so far, comment of the night has to go to our boy General. He says BVD versus technology is my favorite rivalry in all of sports.
Yeah, I'm on a terrible losing streak right now in that one. In fact, it's not much of a rivalry. Where were you at this weekend, Mr. Corporal? I figured you would be at the Tapped House, seeing as it's the last one of the year. I don't know. I guess they'll do it for the bowl game. I figured you'd be there getting serenaded by our boy Matt. I haven't talked to you, Matt, since we both got bitch slapped out of the old state tournament. So, well, yeah, I did. You got knocked out before we did. So we're both at home on the couch watching to see who wins it.
Oh, that reminds me.
Matt is Coach Belichick, General.
Right. That reminds me. You owe me double or nothing on a bet.
What was the double or nothing?
Greenville making it to state.
Did I really make that bet?
Mm-hmm.
What?
After y'all beat Anderson County, you said, I said something like y'all aren't making it to state, and then I said somehow that bet that we made earlier in the year got brought up, and you said okay, double or nothing. Then Greenville makes it, So now you owe me 2.
I remember making the bet. I just couldn't remember what we actually bet on. So yeah, I went and watched Elizabethton play Nolansville Friday night, and it just made me sick, man. We would have mercy ruled that Nolansville team. They were terrible, and of course their star player, bless his heart, got his ACL torn in the first quarter. That really sucked. So good luck to him. He's going to Liberty. He's a Liberty commit, and I know normally you think Liberty, big deal. That's a pretty big deal, I think. They're doing well right now. So, Texans 7, Patriots 3. Yes, darn. Haruto, Morty, we are going bowling. You think OU is going to beat us down next year, huh, Lou? Go ahead and give it to us, Lou. Tell us what you think Tennessee's record's going to be next year. And should I drop the link, Carter? Or wait a while.
I don't care, man. Do what you got to do. I mean, let Uncle Lou come in here and break it down for us.
Uncle Lou don't talk enough when he comes in.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and we'll see if he wants to. I will say this about Uncle Lou, Carter. So I get a text from Uncle Lou last Friday before this past, asking me if I want to. He said, "Can you be up, to come on one of my morning shows,
all right,
Monday or Wednesday or whatever?" And I said, "Sure." A lot of times I stay up anyway, and so I was like, "Sure." Never heard back from him. Still haven't heard back from him. Hop on, get in the chat in one of his morning shows last week, and he's got Bad Dog in there talking to him. And you know what? Leaving comments on an Uncle Lou live streams about like playing, I don't know. It's the chances of him seeing it are pretty slim. So since you're in here now, Uncle Lou, what's up with that? Text me back and let me know what's going on. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to be a guest on the Uncle Lou show. Let's see. Did I paste that damn link? There you go. If you would like to, Mr. Lou Jr.'s father, if you want to come in, you're welcome to. If not, understandable.
So it looked like Uncle Lou and Lou Jr. had a good time in Atlanta Saturday.
What's up, William Taylor? What's up with that damn? Tell me, Uncle Lou, what's up with that damn car? I know it's the Ramblin' Wreck, but...
First of all, good morning, and that.
Couldn't tell you.
This is Uncle Lou here. Shout out to everybody whose team is still playing next weekend.
Shot at Tennessee. Go ahead.
No. Oh well, shot at everybody, but about 16 teams.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're on that list, but it wasn't directly for Tennessee. In terms of the guest on the morning show, and then you seen Bad Dog on there, sir. Don't worry, Uncle Lou, very popular show. These guests are scheduled out 2 and 3 weeks in advance, so don't worry. You're coming.
I love Bad Dog. I've been following him for years, man. He's one of my favorite YouTubers.
Actually, the real story is Bad Dog works during the time that my show was on, but because it was Thanksgiving week, he was off. So that week had been set aside for Bad Dog a long time ago, because he had told me the only time I'll be able to do it is the week of Thanksgiving. So I'll get with you. If one day this week, Monday or Wednesday, I'll have you on. So
man, that's cool, man. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, I know.
No big deal.
One thing though, I want to take a little bit of I want to take umbrage with a little bit of your commentary for earlier. If there's any other Georgia fans in the chat, y'all will have to explain to everyone else what umbrage means. But Listen, this is a pet peeve of mine. Maybe it's because I'm just so hard on Georgia. I expect it from other people too. Juwan Jennings stepped on that man. Yeah, I mean, just listen. Either say you don't care, say look, it's football, whatever, or yell at him or something. But don't deny that he did it, please.
He definitely stepped on him, no question about it, and he was angry. I mean, you could see. You didn't watch the game, I don't guess. He was pissed off all night. I mean, visibly pissed off. I'm sure it's because he wasn't getting the ball. But if anybody saw the first half of that game, nobody was getting the ball when it came to passing. Guaranturdo looked like the first 4 or 5 games, Guaranturdo. But, you know, he had some big plays and they got it done. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
I don't look at bowl projections, but I did see somebody in the chat say that somewhere y'all are projected to play Minnesota. Is that would be an interesting game to me.
Yeah, it's been many years since we played Minnesota in a bowl game.
Yeah, and you know,
80s, I think.
One of the things that sucks nowadays about bowl games is a lot of times they match up teams where one team is really excited to be in that particular bowl and one team is disappointed. But in this case, Tennessee and Minnesota, I think you would get both teams full effort. Like I think both teams would be excited.
Yeah, I think Minnesota would be excited, but they've got to be a little bit let down. What, they lost 2 of their last 3?
Yeah, but even if they would have won yesterday, they still would have caught a beating next week. So either way, but that'll be an interesting bowl game. I like that one better than some of the ones I was seeing earlier that had y'all up against Michigan or Penn State.
I don't want Michigan. That just something smells all wrong about that one.
Yeah, I like the Tennessee-Minnesota matchup. I think, and that's what I look for with these bowl games are interesting matchups because whether you're going to get a good game or not is so hit or miss based on players that leave for the draft or teams that don't care about being there or whatever. So you got to look for something else. And I think the storylines of both Tennessee this year and Minnesota this year would make that game interesting.
Oh, shout out to my boy Devilman in the comments, dude. I'm sorry, I forgot. I meant to leave myself a note to remind me to text you, but I forgot to leave myself a reminder note. So, what am I going to do? I'm glad you remembered, and I'm glad you're in here. So, sorry, bro. Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup. I think that would have a potential to have some, not Ohio State LSU type fireworks, but, that could be a fairly high-scoring game where I think, to be totally honest, and I hate Michigan with a passion. I think if we got a hold of those guys, their defense, I don't know what we could do with that defense. It would depend on what kind of mood JG's arm was in that day.
Hey, who do you think if Georgia loses next week? What SEC team do you think gets the Sugar Bowl? Georgia, Florida, or Bama?
Carter?
I think Alabama gets the Sugar Bowl.
If Georgia loses, so 10-2 Bama gets Sugar Bowl over 11-2 Georgia.
Would that surprise you, honestly?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm just wondering if that's really what he thinks.
Wouldn't Georgia get the Cotton Bowl?
No, Sugar Bowl gets first pick of SEC teams that aren't in the playoff.
Wow. Yeah.
The Sugar Bowl will get their choice of Georgia, Florida, or Bama.
What do you think? Not we know what you think, but I mean, would that be okay with you? I mean, would it surprise you?
If I was running the Sugar Bowl, I would take Florida.
Really?
Oh, they would sell that place out, sir. They would be. You know how happy Florida fan would be?
Yeah. Well, hell, for that matter, they ought to take Tennessee.
Alabama fan ain't going to that game, and I don't think Georgia fans should go to that game after the shit show Georgia put on the field in the Sugar Bowl last year.
Or maybe there's the whole redemption thing. I don't know. They're probably not going to feel much like redemption if they don't beat LSU and have to go down there. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, Bama's going to get the Bama privilege. It's going to happen until it's officially over.
They have to make it up to Nick Saban for cheating him on that last play by allowing Gus Malzahn to trick him.
Wait a minute. Raise your hand if you feel sorry for Nick Saban.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Him trying to blame the referees because he got tricked by Gus Malzahn is about the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I guess the beauty of doing streams like this, you wouldn't say it. I know you would think it, but the beauty of doing a stream like this is I can say things like, haha, fuck you, Saban. And it's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting to say things like that because they beat up on our ass for 13 years in a row, man. Anytime I can get a lick in, I'm gonna take it.
Well, the reality is any team that has lost 3 straight to ranked teams just isn't very good.
What do you think about that, Hoss? Hoss, I think I might have not necessarily triggered Hoss, but he didn't like my Bama privilege comment. Carter, would you like to speak, or either one of you guys, would you like to speak on it?
It's hard for me to speak because I can't hear Lou. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to listen to him on a delay by playing his response on my tablet. So it's kind of it's hard for me to figure out if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I forgot what I was going to say now. Damn it! Surprise, surprise. I was going to ask you what your thought is on Bama privilege. Is there a Bama privilege in your mind, or is it just some made-up mumbo jumbo by people like me that root for a team that sucked for the last 10 years, and we need something to be pissed off at everybody else about?
Well, the thing I do believe there is a Bama privilege. I'm not going to sit here and say it's as far as the refs or throwing flags to help Bama or doing things like that, but I mean, I think they're privileged as far as the, all the, getting shown more on TV and stuff like that. They get talked about way more, and I know it's also helps that they're good and they're one of the top programs in the country. But I think that is kind of real. That part of it, at least. Maybe not the refs helping them at games, but.
Haruto Morty wants to know if we think it's right to put Ohio State #1 over LSU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those two have got to play. I mean, I think that's what America probably wants to see. Back to Bama real quick. You know what? I don't know about you guys, but I got so freaking sick and tired yesterday of hearing Mac Jones did a great job. No, he didn't. He threw 2 pick sixes. I don't give a shit if he threw 10 touchdowns. He threw 2 pick sixes. That's the difference in the game. Oh, but after he threw each one of them, he came back and led the team down the field on a touchdown drive. So would anybody in here be happy if their quarterback threw 2 pick sixes in a damn game?
No,
I wouldn't. I mean, I get it. He did do a pretty good job. If you could, here's the thing: if you could take those 2 plays out of the situation, we've all said that before. Guess what? You can't take those 2 plays out.
Yeah. Well, let's give him some credit. I mean, obviously, he's not the talent that Tua is, and they do benefit a lot from that group of wide receivers. But Auburn has a really good defense, and I'm not just saying that because Georgia only scored 21. Georgia only scores in the 20s against anybody, but they did hold LSU to 23. They held what they hold Florida to in the 20s. Florida's got a pretty good offense. I mean, Auburn's defense is pretty good, and for Mac Jones to go out there, I mean, the 2 pick sixes. The one was kind of weird; it hit off the guy's butt, basically. I'm not making excuses for him.
Okay, I didn't see that one. My bad on that one. I saw the one.
Yeah, he was under pressure and he had to throw the ball quicker than he wanted to, and the receiver hadn't turned around yet. So technically, he shouldn't have thrown the ball, but it hit the receiver's butt and bounced in the air right into the Auburn guy's hand, and he ran it back 100 yards for a touchdown.
And before you Bama fans crucify me in here, I'm not really talking shit about Mac Jones. It was really more so the announcers, it drives me nuts, man. I mean, he's going to be a good quarterback. How many years he got left after this year? 1, 2. He's a junior, I think, isn't he?
I don't even have any idea. To be honest, I have no clue.
I could be wrong. I'm sure Gump in here can tell me. Somebody tell me what. Yeah, pretty sure he's a junior.
I'll tell you what. I mean, this is. And listen, the death threats thing, that's terrible. That should never happen. But the kicking situation at Alabama deserves every bit of the scrutiny and blame and whatever that it's getting, short of the kid getting death threats. But Alabama's missed more field goals than any other team in America since Nick Saban got to Alabama. So I don't know what Nick Saban is doing. That field goal kicker they have is the #1 high school field goal kicker recruit in America. So it's not like he was terrible before he got there. But he's missed a bunch of kicks this year. He missed the one in this game that would have tied it up. And this has been a problem for Alabama the whole time Nick Saban has been there. I don't know what they do to their. I think for a long time, I thought Nick Saban, especially with Jalen Hurts, ruined quarterbacks' minds by being so hard on them about turnovers. Don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. To the point where Jalen Hurts got to where he was scared to even throw the ball. You could see it in his eyes. He would rather run than throw unless the receiver was wide open. And I just wonder if something similar to that is going on with Alabama's kickers, where there's so much pressure or something is being put on them that they just can't perform. I get it. You got to be able to perform under pressure if you're a kicker. But, man, this has just been a problem for them. 5, 6, 7 kickers in a row going all the way back to 2007. It's just weird.
It is kind of crazy. Carter, do you remember Van Tiffin?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I know you aren't old enough to, remember him when he played, but I know you're good on your history and stuff. That's absolutely. A dude that he personally kicked Tennessee's ass a couple of years. So, yeah, I mean, I've always not feared kickers from Alabama, but they've always, in my life, had good kickers until now. So I'm with you. I don't get it. I don't know. Kind of funny to me.
You think Gus Malzahn is going to get him another $50 million?
It is.
Man. Well, that, to say the least, understatement of the world, that win every other year, it seems like that he gets, it's big enough to keep him in the captain's chair for a while longer there. I mean, he seems to be convinced that they're going to be a 10-win team this year, and they should be. They should win their bowl game. If that defense can keep kicking ass, like you said. I think this is the first time they gave up over 30 points this year. That was a stat I think I heard. I may be wrong. Another crazy ass stat: Alabama, when scoring 40 or more points in their history, is like 240 something and 2. Think about that.
That's crazy.
That is beyond crazy. I know one game where they scored over 40 and didn't win. You do too, don't you, Carter? I think they scored over 40 in that game. It was the $15 million overtime game with Tennessee back in
2003. It'd be 2003. It was 51-43.
Jason Witten. Or not Jason Witten.
Casey Clausen, James Banks.
Anyway, that's one of the two. Well, now 3. Yeah, that was a great game though, man. I hated that it came on during the Tennessee game. It would have been fun to watch.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of the Tennessee game because I was watching. Well, I was at the Georgia Tech game, so I didn't even get home until halftime. 3:30 games.
Sorry, I can't tell if I'm interrupting him.
Well, I'm getting some weird shit here too. I was hearing them, and then there we go. Are you back, Lou?
Carter's listening to his iPad over the stream. It sounds like, I don't know. I was hearing feedback too. I don't know what's going on.
I can hear you fine now.
Yeah, the technology situation is a little weird to say the least. So,
Kevin, I see you in there. I'm not ignoring you. Well, I guess technically, I guess I am, but not intentionally. Well, yeah, I am intentionally ignoring you. Hang in there, buddy. We'll get you in here in a minute. I'm personally tired of talking about Alabama. They've gotten more of our attention than they deserve. Damn it. Here we go again, man. I need brains. I need a lobotomy, a frontal or a rebuttal or some kind of unnel to help my memory. This is bad, man. I was going to ask you something about the Georgia Tech game yesterday. First of all, is that the first time you'd ever been there to a game?
Yeah,
between the two?
It's my first time in going to a game. Going to a game there. I'm not a fan of college campuses in the middle of big cities to start with. That's one of the reasons I'm not a fan of South Carolina's campus and stadium. I just prefer colleges that are sort of in smaller towns, and Georgia Tech is right slap in the middle of downtown Atlanta. The stadium itself was okay. I don't know. It seems like it needs to be renovated. It doesn't have a lot of the modern stuff, I guess, that a lot of the other stadiums do. The PA system is terrible. The concession stand situation is terrible. The seats are uncomfortable. I don't know. It was okay. The people were nice, but the experience wasn't that great.
Was it 50-50 there, or did you guys have more fans than them? On TV, it looked like. Go ahead, Carter.
It looked like it was a 75% Georgia, 25% Georgia Tech.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were trying to say something.
Yeah. It seemed like it was about 75-25 in favor of Georgia.
It was bad for those guys. I guess. Well, I mean, I guess they all knew what was coming. I don't think anybody thought it would. You guys would have that offensive explosion in the second half that you had.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny watching. When I watched your halftime video, it was already. I'd flipped over there, and it was you guys that I think were already in the 40s. So I'm watching you bitching about the offense while on TV they're starting to light it up. It was kind of funny.
I mean, imagine how bad it could have been. I mean, we gave Georgia Tech like 4 or 5 extra possessions. We had 3 or 4 turnovers. We fumbled a punt inside our 20-yard line that they recovered. They recovered an onside kick the one time that they scored. So, I mean, they had like 5 extra possessions in that game. So even though we scored as much as we did, the offense still struggled. The thing is, Georgia can score a lot of points like that against a really bad team. But if you really watch the game, it's clear that everything is a struggle for Georgia's offense. Like there's nothing that comes easy. Like we've never had a great passing game, but even this year, like even the run game seems like a struggle most of the time. Like it's just a really hard offense to watch. It's just nothing exciting about it.
What's the story with the kid that transferred, I guess, from Miami?
Lawrence Cager? Yeah, I think he's done.
Okay. And then the other kid that got in trouble.
Yeah, George Pickens. And I don't know. Listen, he's got a lot of talent in the world, but he's one of these kids that really needs to sit himself down right now.
The Pickens kid?
Yeah, and he's got to make a decision. Does he want to be a multi-millionaire and play football in the NFL for the next 15 or 20 years? Or does he want to not do that? Because listen, I get it. Anybody in the heat of the moment can get carried away and make a bad decision. And Lord knows I've made a million of them. So I'm not here to judge, but he was suspended for the first half of this game.
Wow.
So, and no one will say what it is. So I don't know what it is. It could be anything, late to a team meeting. I don't know, but it's something that shows lack of discipline, you know?
Was it the old violating team rules thing?
Yeah. Yep. So you're already suspended for the first half of this game. You come in, you're dominating. And yeah, that Georgia Tech was playing a little dirty and a little chippy. It was a rivalry game. They were getting blown out. So they were doing a little bit extra on every play, hitting a little late and stuff like that. But you can't let yourself get carried away like that. I know he got hit first and all that, but man, you've gotta realize even in that moment what is on the line for you versus what is on the line for the other guy. He had nothing to lose, that Georgia Tech guy. What did he have to lose? Nothing. Not even a bowl game.
Absolutely nothing.
You just can't do that in that situation there. And unfortunately, our wide receiver position has been an issue since the draft. We lost everybody that contributed last year. Then Holloman gets kicked off the team in the offseason, our leading returner. So, and George Pickens has got a lot of ability. And let's face it, it's not like we can afford to be going up against LSU without any of our offensive weapons. I mean, we're not Alabama. Alabama could probably sit a receiver. What's it going to matter? But we don't have it like that at the wide receiver position. It's a struggle for us. So I don't know, that could hurt.
A couple of things in the comments here. Let's see. Haruto wants to know what happened to Joey Gatewood, kid from Auburn. I have no idea. yes, I don't know what's going on with you, Devil Man, but yes, I know Devil Man. Devil Man's badass. Don't mess with him. He'll slit your throat. Let's see. Matthew Wilkins wants to hear my early bowl predictions for 2020. Not bold, bold, B-O-L-D. I have an early bowl prediction for you, Matthew. Tennessee's back, and we're going 15-0 next year. There you go. There's your early bowl prediction.
Okay, now I'll give you the legitimate Tennessee prediction. Next year, Tennessee will beat every team they're supposed to beat. They won't lose to teams like Georgia State and BYU. This should make Tennessee fan happy, but it won't.
I'm a little concerned about next year.
Tennessee fan will lose to Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. They will be 8-4, but they will win against all 8 teams they're supposed to. That is an improvement. That is an improvement. I told you were going 7-5 this year. You're going 8-4 next year.
I think here's your bold prediction. I think we'll beat one of those 4 teams that you just said we would lose to, and that would have to be considered a bold prediction, because I still think the recruiting right now is the big problem, and it's hard to recruit against Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and LSU. But we've got to get some recruits in here. They were talking about it on Basilio last night. He actually made sense, if you can believe that. We've got some great coaches here, some outstanding assistant coaches that are obviously doing a good job with these kids, and but they're not recruiting well enough. So which is it? Is it better to have great recruits, get a top 5 class in here, and then have a bunch of assistants that can't really coach them up, or get an average class of kids, 3 stars, butch recruits, and then coach them up to where they believe in themselves and they're winners, and so on and so forth? What do you think, Carter? Thank you, Devil Man, for the super chat. You are the man.
As far as that, I mean, Butch Jones did have some of those highly rated recruits, but
they couldn't do shit with them.
Right. So I feel like we've kind of already been down that path. So obviously, I'd rather have a great coaching staff that can coach them up, in my opinion. So
like to have both, ideally.
Well, of course.
We can't all be Georgia, right? Or Alabama.
No.
Would you like to be in Dan Mullen's shoes right now? As a Tennessee fan, would you like to be, Lou's always giving him shit because he hasn't won a division title? I don't know where I was going with that. Basically, would you like to have a coach like that here now, given what has just happened over the last 10 years?
Well, I mean, now, yeah, but over time it would get old.
Yeah, because I remember those days, man. It's not that long ago that we were like that. Damn. We already lost a game. This season's over.
Yeah, like 2007. We started 1-2. It was,
It's different comparisons for Florida and Tennessee. I mean, it's been forever for Tennessee. So if you guys, like the year Butch won 9 games, I mean, that was a good year.
Back to back, even.
I know it ended bad because you did have a chance to win the division, but still, given your program over the last 10 years, 9 wins is a good season. Florida, on the other hand, has won the SEC East 2 out of the last 5 years. I mean, they won the SEC East in 15 and 16, fired McElwain in 17 after he didn't win it one time. Then you bring Mullen in. Anything short of winning the division is a failure. Period. They're not rebuilding like Tennessee is. They haven't been down where y'all have been for that long of a time. I mean, they were division champs in 15 and 16. So,
and it looked like they were going to go down that same path, but they somehow managed to rein it in. Whereas we didn't. We just kept choosing shitty path after shitty path. And
I mean, do you think Minnesota had a good year this year?
Hell yeah, they had a great year, especially for them.
Did Alabama?
No.
Right, and they have the same record, so that's what I'm saying. It's not
right.
only about the record and what you win. It also has to do with what the expectations are and where you've been. So
Sure.
10-2 for Minnesota is amazing. 10-2 for Alabama. I mean, they're already getting out their NASCAR stuff now. They're back to watching that now. So Florida needs to win some.
Yeah.
Kevin, I see you, man. Are you still alive? I thought about here. Let's bring Kevin in and let him.
Okay, fine. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Yeah, good morning.
My God! Finally got in here. Good morning, Lou.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
What's up? It's Kevin, obviously from your Patreon. But good. Hey, BVD and ACP Carter. Good win for your Vols. 7 wins. It's great.
Yep.
We're going for that. Go win that 8th game, and let's hear the off-season hype. We're ready for it. All right.
Of course you are.
For that off-season hype.
We got to do our part and keep the rest of college football.
Hell, it's already going on in this chat.
Yeah, you're going to beat Oklahoma, Alabama, Florida, Georgia. You're going to beat everybody by 30. I know it. But did y'all hear about Felipe Franks leaving Florida?
Yeah, sure did.
About that?
So it's official now?
Yeah, he's leaving. He could go to the NFL or he's going to go in the transfer portal. I don't know how he's going to be a draft pick. He's not that good to me. Or I don't think anybody thinks he's an NFL quarterback right now.
No, you better go to the portal. Hell, yeah. He might not even get drafted out of the portal.
Every now and then, though, you have quarterbacks like that show up, in the NFL and do very well when we all sat here and said, oh, he sucks, he's not going to do shit. And, of course, I can't think of a damn example right now, but it happens from time to time. But, yeah, I don't think Franks is that guy. Franks.
No,
It's me, Frank.
Franks. Yeah. Why? I don't understand. Wasn't Kyle Trask like a 5th-year senior or something? Like, why wouldn't Franks come back? He probably
no. Trask is coming back. Trask is coming back.
Oh, I thought Trask was like. Oh, I thought Trask was like a 4th-year guy or something.
Well, I remember when Franks got hurt and they brought Trask in, they were saying the guys were talking about how at one point they weren't sure who was going to be the starter. Like Trask actually may have had a chance to be the starter. So I mean, it obviously it's not any kind of drop off between the two. So I don't think Florida fans are too broke up about it. I mean, outside of a Hail Mary that wasn't a Hail Mary against Tennessee and a couple other good wins for him, he hadn't done a whole lot of shit down there.
Well, next year when the news wore off of Kyle Trask, they'll be booing him too and begging for Emory Jones or whatever other trash can they signed in the 2020 recruiting class.
Driscoll, there's an example.
Jeff Driscoll, he was. I think he was starting for the Lions, like for a few games this year.
I saw him the other day, and I can't remember who the hell it was for, but he's still in. It might have been the Lions. He may be their backup now.
Speaking of Lions and quarterbacks coming out of nowhere, did y'all watch the Lions on Thanksgiving? Who the hell was that playing quarterback? I never heard this guy.
Me neither. Lou, I was saying the exact same thing. I had never heard of that guy in my life.
What's his name? Does anybody remember his name?
I don't even remember.
I remember. It was. I think I saw something. He was from Purdue. That's what I.
Yes, Blau.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Blau, because
he beat Ohio State. It was either. I guess it was last year. Yeah, beat him like 55 to something. I don't know if that was last year or the year before, but yeah, I remember the kid now.
And BBD, who do you see? Who do you see winning the SEC Saturday?
LSU.
Me and Uncle Lou, of course, no. You think LSU's winning it?
Yeah, until somebody stops them, and I know Georgia's got a great defense. This could be they're the classic offense, great offense versus great defense. Blah 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 blah. Somebody's got to win that damn game, and right now, until somebody slows LSU down, they're kind of like Ohio State to me. They're on a steamroll path for the championship game.
Well, all I'll say is just like usually when you have these kind of matchups, it's just like usually when you have the best defense and the best offense, most of the time, look at the past games, the defense is the best defense has won the game. Like, for example, that Super Bowl with the Seahawks and the Broncos, high-powered Broncos offense against the Legion of Boom, and we saw what happened. And there's been many other cases of that. I don't know. I mean, the Dogs are going to win.
Agree with that. I agree with that in general about the defense, the better defense usually winning.
I don't know. We got to show up on offense.
Well, that's the thing. What they don't tell you is that even the team with the better defense usually has at least some sort of an offense, even if it's not as good as the other offense. Georgia has no. I mean, we have the 52nd ranked offense. The highest ranked offense that's ever made the college football playoff was 42nd, and that was Alabama back in I think 15, and they had the number 1 defense. We don't even have the number 1 defense. We have the number 2 defense. The number 1 defense is Clemson, and their offense is miles ahead of us. So this, I get what Georgia fans are saying because I hear it all the time. Well, the defense will win. The defense always wins. Okay, well, if that's the case, then you're already chalking up a potential matchup against LSU as a loss. I mean, against Clemson as a loss then. If you're a Georgia fan and you're just banking everything you're saying on, well, we're going to win because we have the better defense, then you're picking us to lose to Clemson should that matchup ever come around because they have a better defense than us.
Clemson is just kind of, and this is weird given what they've done since the almost North Carolina loss. I mean, their offense has just been ridiculous on fire, but they're almost like the forgotten team, and wouldn't it be crazy as shit if Virginia threw a monkey wrench into all these plans and somehow pulled off the miracle? It's not going to happen.
That would. But oh my goodness, that would.
I won't be at all surprised if Clemson ends up winning the whole damn thing again. It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, people keep saying the team with and this is true. The team with the number 1 defense won the national title in last year, 2018. Same thing in 2017. The team with the number 1 defense won the national title, Alabama. But Alabama and Clemson were averaging 45 and 50 points a game those years too. So it's not like they won just because they had a great defense. I mean, they had amazing offenses too.
Yeah.
Georgia doesn't. Georgia would have to pull some kind of a rabbit out of its hat offensively in order to even compete in a matchup with Clemson or Ohio State because they're complete team. Georgia can beat LSU. I'm not saying they will, but Georgia can beat LSU. Because LSU is one-dimensional. They're offensive. That's it. Their defense is terrible. 700 yards to Ole Miss, 38 points. I can go down the list. Their defense is terrible. Okay, so I get it that Georgia's offense is bad, but Georgia could compete. Auburn held LSU to 23. If we hold LSU into the 20s, we have a chance to win. If they get up into the 30s or higher, I doubt we can catch them, honestly. If we hold them to the 20s, which we've seen other teams do, then I think we'll have a chance. Clemson and Ohio State, that's totally different. Georgia would have to play some kind of miraculous out of nowhere game offensively to have any chance against Clemson or Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be dumb to say, but it gives you a lot of reminders back. Now, I would say back in 2017 with freshman Fromm, we had a much better offense, but going into the Rose Bowl against Oklahoma, everyone said, if it gets into a shootout, no way Georgia wins. It's kind of similar to that game, but I think you're right. I think Georgia's going to need to hold LSU to – I don't see LSU scoring 30 on our defense, if I had to be honest, but if we can hold them at around the 20-23 mark, we should win. I don't understand how this offense couldn't score over 23 on LSU.
What's up? Hang on a second here. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Gate City Blue Devil? Appreciate the super chat. Says God bless America and BBD. Question for Carter to be thinking about because Carter's good about trivia. Hell, you might even know it, Uncle Lou. There's 2 Big Ten teams that Tennessee has never played. Who are they? And I'm drawing a blank. Every team in the Big Ten I can think of.
Michigan State, and
we played Purdue.
We played Indiana, we played Purdue, we played Iowa, we played Penn State.
Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois and Michigan State.
Might be Illinois. Oh, fuck, Maryland. No, we played Maryland, though.
Oh, we did.
Maryland's not a Big Ten team. I can't count Maryland as a Big Ten team. That's ridiculous. Sorry for interrupting you there, Carter, or Kevin and Lou.
Yeah, I don't understand. There's still human potatoes in the comment section that are saying no one can stop Joe Burrow. Someone already stopped him. Auburn. So Quit.
Exactly.
It can't be done. Of course, that's like. I mean, that's like. I mean, that doesn't make any. That just doesn't make any sense. Of course, LSU can be slowed down. It's already happened. So yes, LSU can be slowed down. Does that mean Georgia's guaranteed to do it? No, it doesn't. But it can happen. I mean, Georgia's got a better defense than Auburn. I guarantee you. Auburn's got a better front four, but Georgia's defense is better overall than Auburn's. Period. And anybody that thinks otherwise is lying to themselves.
Yeah, it's stupid. I think Auburn might have like more, I guess, NFL talent up front, but overall defense, I think Georgia's far better defensively.
Then LSU? Is that what
No,
you're
I'm talking
saying?
about Auburn. I was saying
Okay,
Auburn.
I was gonna
Maybe
say
up front because Auburn has Derek Brown and that number 3.
those two guys are freaking ridiculous, man.
Look, here's the thing about Auburn. Okay, Auburn's got a pretty good defense, and they struggle offensively. That's Georgia. Except Georgia's defense is a little bit better than Auburn's defense, and Georgia's offense is a little bit better than Auburn's offense. And Auburn went into LSU and lost 23-20. So to all these comments that you can't stop Joe Burrow, yes, you can. Again,
everybody is
that's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee that Georgia will. But I heard all this same stuff last year before the Georgia-Alabama game. Alabama scoring 50 points a game. Nobody can stop Tua. Tua looked like he never seen a football before in that game. Okay, we made him look elementary. We made him look pedestrian. Okay, we made him look lost. And so yes, it can happen.
What's the status on Swift, Lou?
He's fine.
His feelings were hurt. That's it. His feelings were hurt because he fumbled. That's it.
Oh, what a dumb fumble it was too. He didn't tuck that. He had that ball. It's just he misplaced that ball. He's got to be smarter with that. But it's cool. He's fine. He had been dealing with a bruised shoulder like for a bit, I guess, or whatever it was.
There's a lot of that going around in this part of the country. Avery says he has family. Half of them likes UT. Half of them likes Virginia Tech. Yeah, that happens a lot around here, especially people that live in Bristol. In that area, so you can
Uncle
take your
Lou,
pick.
I have another. I don't know if you could predict this right now, but what if you had to give maybe a guess on the stats Fromm would maybe have to put up this Saturday? What's going to need to happen from him? He needs to play well, of course, but
yeah,
Carter, we're going to have to cut these two guys off.
He needs to do the one thing that he used to do that you could at least count on, which is complete passes at a high percentage. 4 games in a row now from under 50% completion. And that used to be his crutch. Yeah, he doesn't have a great arm. Yeah, he's not mobile. Yeah, he doesn't,
but he gets 70%.
He can't throw over the middle, but he hits 75% of his passes. Well, not lately. The last 4 games in a row, he's under 50%. If he's under 50% against LSU, we will lose.
We'll get our ass. We're
Okay. Time out. Okay, we know Georgia plays LSU Friday in the SEC championship game, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and that.
Saturday.
I want to know. Did I say Friday?
Yeah, I was about to say
Sorry, Saturday. See, you guys are listening. That's good. I want to know who team number 4 is going to be. Carter, who's team number 4 going to be?
LSU, because Georgia's going to beat them.
Well, if LSU does win, let's just say. A lot of people are saying Oklahoma. It'd probably be Oklahoma because unless they don't lose, they don't beat Baylor. If everything goes the way that they want it to go, I'm sure it'll be, it'll be LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and Oklahoma. No particular order. Well, I guess if it's going to be an order, to be Ohio State, LSU.
Yeah, I think that's the one everybody wants.
I disagree. I think if Georgia loses, Utah gets the 4 spot.
That's true.
They're playing. Who did they lose? Who did they lose to? Who did Utah lose to?
Utah. They lost to USC. They lost to.
That's right.
No, they lost. I thought they lost to BYU. No, that's right. You're right. USC.
They lost to Southern Cal. Well, Southern Cal is like ranked right now, aren't they?
Well, they're 8-4. Yeah, they're ranked.
Yeah,
Well, that's a better loss than Georgia. Not poking the bear.
Everyone in the top 6 has a better loss than Georgia.
They don't have the wins that Georgia has. That explains the ranking. Yeah.
And then the eye test probably said Georgia's just better than Utah.
Phew, I don't know, man. It's hard to gauge those teams out there. Sometimes you think, we beat the shit out of them, big physical SEC, and then you get a hold of them. Next thing you
Utah's
know,
a damn good
Utah's
team.
beat your ass by 30.
Yeah, Utah. I watched a lot of the Colorado game because I had never been able to watch Utah that much because they come on so late. But they're
I
pretty
wouldn't
damn
want no
good
part
team.
of them if I was
I would put
a playoff team.
I think if Baylor were to beat Oklahoma, I'd honestly put Baylor in because technically they'd beaten everybody on their schedule. You want to take that, and Baylor looks good to me. I like Baylor; they're really good.
I dropped the link in the chat box there. We've still got a few people in here. If anybody, what the hell was that? If anybody wants to hop in here, I'll drop it again. A Ute is an Indian, or excuse me, a Native American. Somebody asked. Am I correct? Any of you three guys, am I correct on that? A Ute is a Native American.
I don't know anything about all those different Indian tribes.
I guess I don't know.
Somebody asked what a Ute is. I'm pretty sure it's
some type of something like that's like Florida State.
Kind of like the Seminoles, it's
something I don't know. No, somebody's gonna get offended in the comments. So
they'll get over it. That's the beautiful thing about comments. You can get offended, but guess what? Get over it. Damn, I thought I dropped the link in there.
Is Bama still 5th? Anybody know that in the comments?
No.
Still 5th?
My guess would be absolutely not.
They get
Kevin.
in the top 4? Bama get in the top 4? Wow. Good job, Bama.
I thought it was Pumpkin King. Dr. Vol, I like that name. It used to be called Dr.
Think of
Crow.
how many players sit out for Alabama in their bowl game.
Baylor is horrible. What quality wins do they have, and how the hell did they let Oklahoma come back from 25? Asked Dr. Vol. Just they hadn't allowed that comeback to happen, Dr. Vol, they would be, the 4th team right now going into the weekend, provided they could beat Oklahoma again, which I think Oklahoma's this time around. I
think they're beating Oklahoma.
I don't know, man. It's hard to beat a good team twice in the same year, isn't it, Devil Man? We heard that shit all year, and that didn't work out too well for us.
Didn't Oklahoma look pretty good Saturday? It wasn't like Oklahoma State, Oklahoma always is, where it's like 60 to 57. They played pretty good defense finally against Oklahoma State.
I'm not buying it.
That's pretty amazing,
I don't
Avery.
think they're that good, but I was just like, wow. I've never seen that in that Oklahoma State game.
You said a minute ago, imagine how many Alabama players are going to sit out the bowl game. Imagine how many of their fans are going to sit out the bowl game. About 90%.
They're watching NASCAR. They don't have time for the bowl game.
NASCAR's over.
Yeah, NASCAR's over.
They're like Bama Marine. They're in their car.
They're not watching basketball. I know that.
Internet.
Bama Marine's been in his car for 4 weeks.
He's still looking for internet.
He's missing.
Yeah.
I think we should
He
put
actually
out a
called me
missing
the
persons.
other night. He actually called me the other night, and I missed the call.
Yeah.
He was sitting here at SOS.
Listen, hey, Alabama, you guys, who knows? They might be in the Capital One Bowl. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be something?
Uncle Lou, Haruto Morty says that you said Miami has become the new Tennessee, but what program has a better chance to become relevant again in the upcoming years, Tennessee or Miami?
That's
a good
question.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one too, because obviously the path is a lot harder for Tennessee because there's only one even semi-good team in the ACC right now. So Miami would have to clear fewer hurdles to get there. Yeah. But I actually think, like, if you were to ask me right now which team would win 10 games, 9 games first, I would say Tennessee.
Tennessee should already have 9 wins if they didn't shit the bed against BYU and Georgia State.
You probably know this, Carter. You might know it, but I think I heard the other day after the Virginia game. Congrats to the Who's, by the way, for ending that long, ridiculous streak. Seven coastal championships. I'm saying this right. 7 different coastal champions since the inception of that split over there at the ACC. That's
And
crazy,
every single
man.
one of them lost. Every single one lost. The ACC.
And Miami's never won the Coastal, I don't think, have they? Or did they?
One time.
Yeah,
One time.
Mark
In
Rick's
17.
second year.
Yeah, 2017.
That's right.
They got destroyed. It was
Avery wants to know, BBD, do you think Notre Dame is an overrated team? What are they rated? Somebody tell me what they're rated, and I'll tell you whether they're overrated.
They're 14, 15, 16. They're not overrated. That's about what they are.
They've lost 2 games, right?
Alabama.
Yeah.
They have more ranked wins than Alabama.
Georgia and who else?
Michigan.
Do y'all think the Lane Kiffin to Arkansas rumors are true?
They should be if Arkansas's got any sense at all, which that's up for debate.
What about Missouri? Who's going to take that job? Is Derek Dooley going to get promoted? Are they going to promote Derek Dooley to head coach, and he's going to hire Brooks Jones as offensive
not with the way
coordinator?
Their offense
Who would really go to Missouri? I really don't know. It's just.
Well, I mean, it's an SEC school. It's not It's probably not a very hard fan base to please.
And Ole Miss fired Matt Luke. They fired their coach too, a little bit ago.
Which is the better job, Arkansas or Ole Miss? The one thing Arkansas has going for them is they're the only school in the state that really, you know what I'm saying? Like, that whole state loves the Hogs.
They don't have much recruiting challenges there.
Thanks, Bama Bound. Bama Bound says, congrats, BBD, on a great turnaround season. That's right, by God, I did it all myself. I deserve all the congratulations. Thank you, sir. I worked my ass off to get that team turned around. There. I've accepted my accolades, and now we can move on. Permit captain.
Keith?
I think the better job or the tougher job. Which did you ask? The better job. I think the better job between Arkansas. Oh God, that's a tough one, man. I'm about to boot you, Kevin. Let's see.
Missouri has 2 division titles in the last 10 years.
No, Arkansas or Ole Miss. Isn't that what you said, Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I'm thinking historically, obviously, Ole Miss, but I think Arkansas has a better chance. Well, neither one of them are going to win natties. So, I think Arkansas in the future has a better chance of getting back to the SEC championship game than Ole Miss, even though Ole Miss appears to be light years ahead of them right now. But everybody does. I mean, Vandy's light years ahead of Arkansas right now. That's a fan base a lot like South Carolina. You know, those guys are freaking loyal to the bitter end, and they deserve another Houston nut, you know.
Yeah, I mean, at least Arkansas has won the West. Ole Miss never has.
Oh wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Even Mississippi State figured out a way to win the West one time. I mean, not with Dan Mullen,
sure did.
But before.
No,
it's everybody but Ole Miss, isn't it?
I guess,
yeah, Texas A&M.
Oh man, see, I keep forgetting about the noobs.
I mean, I think, South Carolina and Missouri has won the division, so I guess Vanderbilt.
Oh, South Carolina won that 2010, I think.
Yeah, so I guess Vanderbilt and Ole Miss, the only 2 teams, and Texas A&M. So
yeah. Well, how long is it going to be before Tennessee gets back to the championship game? Quick answer, don't need an explanation. Just all 3 of you give me your answer. I'm going to say 3 years from now. 3 years.
Until Georgia falls off the face of the earth.
I think it's pointless to try to predict anything that happens 4 years out or further, because you don't even know recruiting-wise who's going to be on the team. but it won't happen in the next 4 seasons.
You don't think so?
No, they're too far behind the recruiting 8-ball from Georgia and Tennessee.
Yeah,
Georgia
the damn the recruiting thing scares the shit out of me. I don't follow recruiting. I don't have the patience to be that diligent with all the shit that goes on.
I mean, right now, and I mean, we can pretend it's not fair or do whatever we want, but I mean, even if, like, let's say Georgia has a really bad year, the chances are that Florida would be the team that was there to pick up the mess. I mean, they don't play Alabama every year.
Yeah.
It's just what it is right now.
Go ahead, Carter.
As I say, kind of back to the Arkansas Ole Miss thing, real quick. Arkansas has beaten them 36 times. It's 36-28. Arkansas's had they've got more all-time wins, more conference titles. I know some of those are from the Big Eight, or they got more consistent All-Americans, more draft picks, more weeks in the AP poll. They've actually got a more legitimate national title than Ole Miss. So,
more
let
legitimate.
Let me say this about Tennessee before I say they won't win it in the next 4 years. With Jeremy Pruitt being a defensive guy, it is possible, not likely probably, but possible. I still think that with a really good defense, a team is only one elite playmaking quarterback away from winning 11 or 12 games in any division in football. Think of
anything from Pee Wee on up. Yeah,
the Cam Newton syndrome at Auburn, right? Terrible. Then you get Cam Newton, you go 14-0 and win it all. He leaves, you go back to being terrible. It's possible that any team that gets somebody like that. Look what Lamar Jackson was able to do at Louisville. Now, they never won the ACC or anything because Clemson was in the way. But look how terrible Louisville was before and after Lamar Jackson. Like, you're only that one, like, generation, and those players are hard to find. And there's, I don't know if Tennessee will get one or not, but short of that happening, though, it would be hard to predict Tennessee to win the division anytime in the next 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, they need to get some stud coming there.
Yeah, we need several studs. I mean, we got, some youngins this year that did really good. To'o, that kid, he gets in that weight room and gets a little bit of meat on them bones. That kid's going to be, he's already a badass, so we'll see what some good coaching can do for him. Do you guys miss Jim Chaney, honestly? I know you're going to say no, I guess, but.
I don't. It's about the same. A bit worse though. I guess. I don't know. It just seems the same as last year.
Offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. Offensive coordinators get too much of the praise and too much of the blame, just like quarterbacks. I think it don't matter what friggin' play you call. If your offense doesn't execute it like they're supposed to.
Well, Georgia better pick up the phone and go get Mike Bobo right now because he just got fired by Colorado State. So
the Snows, I'm going to go out on a limb and say next year Jarrett Guarantorto will be the starting quarterback for Tennessee when the season starts.
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say as soon as Tennessee loses 2 games, the fans are going to be hating him like they did the entire month of September this year.
Yeah.
Damn it. I hung in there, didn't I, Carter? I hung in there till the Alabama game. I was behind him till that damn play at Alabama. And then I flipped.
Fumble. Terrible.
I will tell you this, Keith. I think if Harrison Bailey is as legit as he's being proclaimed to be, he will be our starter next year.
That's the hope I think everybody's going with right now.
Yeah, because I don't know.
But who knows?
Where do y'all play Oklahoma at?
In Norman.
Oh, and that's early, right? Early in the year?
Yeah, it's like game number 2, I think.
Oh, wow. Really? Shit.
You have a nobody. You have a high school team week 1 or what? Probably so, huh?
I would imagine.
Second, I'll tell you.
Yeah, probably a nobody. at home.
It'll be that new Tennessee QB against Spencer Rattler. That'll be interesting.
Rattler, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, maybe we can rattle him. I
And
wonder.
if you go with Harrison Bailey in Oklahoma's week 2, at least that gives you that 1 week against a nobody. I mean, at least it like week 1, wow.
Yeah, we played Charlotte. We played Charlotte week 1.
That's great. If you're gonna go with a first year quarterback, you want to have that one. I mean, I hate to use the word "gimme" game in a season where you lost to Georgia State, but I think you know what I'm saying. You want to have that one game where you're like, okay, let's see what he does here before don't throw him to the wolves sword against a top 10 team in his first start.
I guarantee you that Charlotte or that Georgia State shit does not happen again. I mean, they admitted that they didn't work on Georgia State.
Right.
And that's even crazier than not working on it. Sorry, Carter.
No, I wanted to ask the Georgia guys something. What do you think about us playing late November next year? Have y'all thought about that? Or
yeah, they had to change everything around because Auburn cried to the SEC office. So
right.
There's no game to me. I guess maybe somebody asked me this the other day. I'm not attached to any game on a particular date. Maybe the Florida game because it's just been played the weekend of Halloween every year for so long, and because that's a neutral site where people have bought timeshares and condos for that week, I can see an issue with moving that game. But I'm not attached. Like Tennessee and Bama have the whole third Saturday in October thing. There's not really anything like that for Georgia. Like we used to play South Carolina week 2 every year for a lot of years. It got moved. I really didn't care. They moved the Auburn game. I really don't care. We used to play Tennessee, early in October. They moved that game. I really don't care. I'm not attached to certain dates for games.
Yeah. Well, in Tennessee and Georgia, man, they've, in the 90s, we played y'all like the first game of the year before. So, I mean, it's not like it's always been set at a certain time.
Right.
Like
There's only a handful of games really that it would be a problem if you move, like the Iron Bowl. Like all those, I would like them to leave the last week of the season alone because everyone is playing their rivalry games. Florida, Florida State, Georgia, Clemson, Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Alabama, all that. I'd like them to leave that alone just because it's cool to have that weekend where everybody is sort of playing their in-state team or whatever. So I'd like them to leave that alone. But outside of that, I'm not really attached to any particular dates for certain games.
Which for a while we played Kentucky last game of the year for a long time.
Yeah, instead of Vandy. Yeah,
and
that
they
was
put
weird.
It back. Yeah,
it wasn't like devastating or anything because it's no matter when we play Kentucky up there, it's cold as shit. We could play them in July up there and it'd be fucking 10 degrees.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like is our last home game is going to be against Troy. I don't really care for that. I don't like senior day being against Troy.
700 yards. OU 812. What's up, Butchie buddy? Jetty man. Let's see. Tennessee has a bye before the mugging against Alabama. Now, Matt, I don't think we're going to mug Alabama next year. Yeah.
I just got a Facebook message from an Auburn fan that says Georgia doesn't play anybody. They never do. I'm not sure if he knows we play them every year or.
Got to be trolling, whether he's meaning it or not. And Avery, that's Bud's getting pretty old, isn't he? Bud Foster.
Yes.
Really kind of surprising that he never took a what was I going to say? Never surprising he never took a head coaching job, or did he? And I missed it. I mean, he's been at Virginia Tech for eons. Am I right? Am I wrong? Somebody?
No, Bud Foster. He's been there forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, he's old as the hills too. You know who he reminds me of? Because he was at Virginia Tech for so long. What was that defensive coordinator's name that Bobby Bowden had for Mickey Andrews?
Yeah.
Florida State. I mean, the guy just never went anywhere. I mean, he was like a piece of furniture at Florida State. I mean, that's how Bud Foster.
No, they didn't. Texas didn't fire Herman. No way.
That's got to be a troll.
It's got to be.
Who said that?
Eric Twyman.
Yeah,
we know. I like Ashley Snell. I'm a man, by the way. Are you 40? You have a mullet? By the way, the mullet's looking. He's looking dapper with that mullet.
He's a Dapper Dan man.
Yeah. What's up, Jack? Jack Kreiner in the house. Yeah, I thought so. D4. D4 would give us a straight skinny. He's a Texas fan. He knows what's up. He knows better than that. They just hired the damn guy. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think
mean,
they're back. I think I heard something about that.
I do realize that it is UT over there, but I mean, they keep their coaches longer than 2 years before they fire them, don't they? And my boy D4, everybody throw some thoughts and prayers up for my boy D4. I'm not going to say anything more than he's had a rough time of it here the last couple of weeks, and that's my boy, and he's a good dude. He's good people, as they say around here. Sometimes we all go through it, right? And it's one of them times.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric said he wasn't trolling. He thought he actually saw that.
Now, they fired Todd Orlando, their defensive coordinator. But
That's right.
That's almost a guarantee, Jetty Man. Jetty Man says Bama will shake up their D staff this year.
They need to.
Yeah.
Rutgers hired Greg Schiano, so I guess Rutgers fans don't have Twitter.
Is that official now?
Yeah. I guess Rutgers fans don't have Twitter, so they're stuck with Greg Schiano.
I can't remember, Lou, if you thought that was a mistake by Tennessee doing that.
Well, whether or not they should have, whether I think Greg Schiano was a good hire or not, I do think it's wrong for a school to cave into the fan base like that.
Yeah, it might be wrong, but I'm glad we did. Because I don't know.
You can't conduct your coaching via mob mentality. Like that just sends a bad signal to a lot, and that might be why 11 people one of the reasons why 11 people turned down the job.
That's true.
Mr. Squirrel Squasher, you are asking the complete wrong person that question. He wants to know where I think Tennessee will end up in recruiting. What's up,
that's
Michael?
A general question. Well, the whole thing about it is I know, Keith, your reasoning, but dude, the thing is it was all really speculation with all that stuff that happened with him, in my opinion.
Oh, it was, but I mean, it's guilt by association, you know?
Yeah.
Guilt by association is not necessarily right, but it's a fact of life. And that dude, whether he did anything wrong or not, was just a bad look, and he didn't help. He didn't do himself any favors.
Billy Cole wants to point out in the comments section that I must be full of it because I got Mark Richt fired. And while that's true, I'm not a Twitter mob.
You kind of are. You're like a partial Twitter mob.
I'm a one-man mob.
a mob of one. When does Urban Meyer go to USC, Uncle Lou? Oh, how about Urban Meyer sitting at the desk with all those Buckeyes this past weekend? He just looked, Wolverines. He just looked nervous, sitting there with Charles Woodson, the Heisman thief. I think there was a couple other Michigan guys there. That was kind of funny.
Well, if Michigan would have won, they would have shook his hand and said thank you.
Yeah.
There was a report out from Sports Illustrated earlier today that Southern Cal had fired Clay Helton, but Southern Cal is denying the report. So we'll see what happens the next couple of days.
All right, I got a question for you, Lou. It's 10 o'clock, by the way. So Kirby Smart comes into Georgia with the cupboard completely and fully stocked, loaded and ready to go, and he's off and running. He's had, several great years now. Is his name Todd Day, the Day dude at Ohio State? Is he looking at the same Ryan Day? Yeah. Is he looking at the same situation up there? I mean, do we really know how good of a coach this dude is, or is there just so much freaking talent up there?
Well, they have multiple top 10 recruiting classes. I mean, it's so yeah, he walked into a loaded situation, but
yeah.
I don't, people use that against Kirby like it's a bad thing.
Now, I'm not using it for or against. I'm just,
Yeah.
He's the biggest example of that type of situation right now. Hell, he's the only example.
Well, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah. I guess
I mean,
so.
it's usually when a coach is fired, it's because their team is terrible. And Georgia wasn't terrible. It's just Mark Richt was there for 15 years, and he clearly had plateaued. And so a decision had to be made. You know, do you want to continue hugging people all day long and winning 9 and 10 games and coming in second in the East? Or do you want to roll the dice here but while the cupboard is still full and see if somebody else can do more with what we have here? And obviously, Georgia made the right decision. Because despite all the comparisons about their records in the first 3 and 4 years, which that doesn't make any sense either, because Mark Richt wasn't fired because of what he did in his first 3 or 4 years. He was fired because of what he did in his last 3 or 4 years. But anyway, the cupboard was full there. So
What's up, Blake?
yeah, he walked into a good spot. And the same thing with Ohio State and Oklahoma. You know, they had coaches that just basically quit, didn't get fired. So that's just rare. You usually don't see that. Usually you get a new coach because, you're losing 7 or 8 games a year.
Bucky Beasts wants to know my thoughts on Mark Stoops getting hired at Florida State. Crickets chirping. That's about my thoughts on that one.
You think?
There-
I don't.
Yeah, nah. I would have to say no on that one. I mean, obvious, unless I missed it, we got all these coaching change trolls going on in here tonight. I would imagine Florida State would be looking a little bit higher than Stoops.
Yeah, it would seem to me Florida State could reach a little higher up on the tree if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I doubt they're
Like
gonna go
Derek
after him.
Mason. I think they're going to go after Derek Mason.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, he's just built that way, Lou. Don't you know that?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
If Georgia beats LSU, it will be a sanctified, bona fide upset. Okay.
The only thing I don't like about Derek Mason, I mean, it's all good to be an energetic coach, but you can just tell, that he's never really won anything. Obviously, I mean, I know he's beat Tennessee 3 years in a row, but so has a lot of other teams. But
LSU is like a 5-point favorite. I don't understand. I mean, I guess it would be an upset, but it wouldn't be a huge one.
I don't think it would be as huge of an upset as it is perceived to be. I think the foregone conclusion is that LSU is just going to mop the floor with you guys, and that to me is kind of nonsensical. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Georgia won. Like, not even shocked.
Yeah.
Not even a little.
This is one of them games where, to me, there's almost no outcome that would shock me.
I mean, okay,
Georgia blowing
shocked.
LSU out, that would shock me. But
That would too.
what's
Like
up,
a
Red
beatdown.
Elephant Stampede? I lost my jewel. Yeah. That's not something you want to say very many times if you're a dude.
I don't even know why, you smoke those things, Keith. I mean,
Because they're not bad, and they help me cut down on cigarettes, sort of, kind of, really, not really.
But you're just trading something for, what I mean?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Why would Lyle Jones, somebody in the comment section, but why would Lyle Jones go to FSU when he's the coach in waiting at Alabama? That just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, Bama fans would revolt. They would riot. They would just go completely bonkers and out of their damn mind if someone stole Butch Jones away from them.
Yeah, look at last year. They lost literally every assistant coach they had, and Nick Saban didn't bat an eye. All he said was, you can have anybody you want, but you can't have Lyle. They literally took every assistant coach Bama had from last season except Lyle. He was off limits.
Here again, just another prime example of why Nick Saban is the fucking man.
That's right.
We're fighting to get him back up here, but I'm thinking it's not going to happen. That damn jewel just vanished. Son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm gonna run, guys. Thanks for having me on, BBD. I like.
Hey, yeah, man. Appreciate it. Well,
always a pleasure.
Congratulations to your balls. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, bud. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. Oh, just like it started, and you.
Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. I didn't see you there, Hoss.
Oh.
What's going on, brother?
Oh,
Not too
Vols.
much. I'm with Carter. You need to give that Jewel stuff up.
Why?
You not
Because
seen all.
Vols 316 just said so.
You not seen all those reports of how it's crudding up everybody's lungs and stuff. It's used them. That's why all these young kids have started having getting hospitalized with lung problems, man.
All right, that makes sense. Let me explain something to everybody listening right now. I'm a 52-year-old fat ass male with, what's up, A-Bomb, with diabetes, heart disease, and a myriad of other health issues. I ain't worried about what that Jewel's doing to me, boys. But I do appreciate and love the concern. You guys are my boys.
All that to the side, you're a national treasure, BBD. Like
Yeah, you're full of shit too.
this. Hey, YouTube is better by having you on here. And everybody knows that. It's in the chat here. Anybody would give a thumbs up to that, I think.
About 73 people might agree with you right now.
Hey, I just want y'all to know I ain't hiding. I figured
I know you're not
Adam,
hiding.
Law Tide, Bama Marine, ain't none of them around here. What's up with that?
And Law Tide's retiring. You knew that, right?
Well, yeah, I know. He said that. So.
Well, I mean, it's that time of year. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying that because you guys lost. Thank you, Jackson. It's not every year, literally, but I teased him about that the other day. I was like, man, you retire every year. You ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He'll be back. I bet. Well, if I had $20, I'd bet it on that.
I had to upload one last night to get my 2 cents in about this Iron Bowl situation.
All right.
I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, but anyways.
Get it out right here. Tell me right now. So save me the trouble of having to click my mouse one extra time tonight.
Basically, I was just, trying to address all the bull crap. Everybody trying to blame the loss on the kicker or on the QB play. I mean, I get what you were saying earlier about the 2 pick sixes, but hey, he owned up to that one where he what do you call it, the butt pick six or whatever people were saying about it. And it was a team effort. There was a lot of players. We kept having those false start penalties. That basically took away one of our scores. It's bad stuff. And this is what our year. And Bama fans, the real Bama fans, know that. And anybody else who's disappointed with a 10-2 season, I mean, they just need to get real, and that's what I said in that video.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, you knew it was going to happen, though. 10-2 for you guys is almost tragic. But just like you guys got used to winning national championships every other year, at some point the fan base will come back down to earth and they'll realize that you guys can't win it every damn year. And
that's right.
You will come crashing back to earth someday, I promise. I just don't know. We may not be here to see it, Hoss, but it will happen. Guarantee it.
Well, hey, I knew this year wasn't going to be one of those championship years. I mean, I'm not the one in here spamming the comment section every week when you have these live streams. So I kind of knew after the Ole Miss game that this just wasn't going to be the year we were going to put it all together. Just the way the defense was playing and the amount of yards we were allowing in that game. Because Ole Miss is just, I mean, their QB, yeah, he had some good games down the stretch there, but we should have really put them away early, and in that game we didn't.
It happens, Hoss. We know a little something about not putting teams away. Damn it. Just hearing you say that, every time I hear somebody say we didn't put them away or we didn't step on their throat, I know you guys get tired of hearing the high school shit, but it reminds me of this season. We were the classic example of not putting our foot on the throat. and squishing somebody out, and it ended up costing us probably a third state championship in a row. But it happens, man. You can't. I mean, I guess Carter's gone. He's throwing back in here. Carter, are you done, bud? You done for the night?
No, I just lost my connection.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, all night I put the link in there trying to get some people in here, and nobody wanted to come in. And now we got everybody.
I'm glad that Tennessee is going to a bowl, and it seems at least like maybe y'all got things going in the right direction now, and
yeah, it would appear. I mean,
I'm happy for y'all.
Well, appreciate that, Hoss.
That.
I mean, look, we're Tennessee fans, so obviously we're going to say this, but the conference in college football is just better if Tennessee's good. I mean, Nebraska, there's another one. They need to get good again. I used to hate Nebraska growing up. I got tired of seeing Nebraska, Oklahoma, but I would love to see Nebraska back in the mix of things right now. And apparently you two don't give a shit one way or the other.
Oh, I agree with you, man. Nebraska growing up, Nebraska in the 90s they were the shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
The big meat and tater fellas in there then, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
let's see.
I'm trying to think of another team.
Apparently we're not stopping at 10 tonight.
It's also weird seeing, Florida State as bad as they are.
Yeah.
Right now. And one team that I guess I'm not really, I guess Miami, and I'm not saying that to be, a dick, but I mean, yeah, Miami was good. Well, kind of growing up for me, Miami wasn't that good. They got good in the early 2000s, and they had a nice little run. I wasn't around in the 80s, but so Miami being down really, I guess it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, that I think most of us would be in agreement with you there. It's something about that program does not hurt my feelings at all that they're down.
It's all about the U.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
I do. What's up, D4? I do not understand that place, man. How can a team with that? I mean, yeah, they don't have a long, rich history and tradition like a lot of SEC schools, but that team, they got rings, man. They're right there in the friggin' hotbed of recruiting. How are they only putting 10,000 people in that raggedy? Well, they don't play at the Orange Bowl anymore. But
think about this: before they got good in the 80s, man, they were giving away tickets at Burger King and stuff like that. They didn't have a good following, but people love a winner. It's just like the Miami Heat. If the Miami Heat's not any good, nobody shows. If the Dolphins aren't worth the crap, they don't have that good attendance. And I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah,
about
but even if
team.
Miami's undefeated right now, I guarantee you they're not selling that place out. I mean,
they might not be selling it out, but they're gonna have a much better, crowd.
Well, sure. I mean, it'd be better, but even us, man, I never thought I would see the day at Tennessee. Well, growing up, I never thought I'd see the day where we didn't sell every game out. But that stadium Saturday, and granted, I know the weather was god awful, and Vanderbilt's terrible this year, but I've seen estimates as low as 50,000 people, and I think there was more than that there, but that was a very sparse crowd.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it has to do with television. You can watch it, Ultra HD, 4K,
And prices too. I mean,
and every game's on TV, so.
Definitely on the 4K, 5K, or whatever, it looks like you're sitting inside the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of old farts like me now that used to love going to games, but now I'm like, screw that. You couldn't have paid me money to go down there Saturday.
Yeah, it's not even just a Tennessee thing anymore. It's just a college football thing. It ain't just us. I mean,
I know. I'm watching the game this weekend, and I'm going to throw you in here too, Blake. Watching the game this weekend, and I hopped on. Flint had a little stream going there for a minute, and I hopped in his stream, and I could hear the friggin' band being mic'd up. And I know I rag on that shit. I harp on that all the time. But it bugs me to no end. And when the stadium's empty like it was at the end of the game, it just it amplifies that. And things like that, I'm sure I'm not the only person. There's probably a lot of people just like me as far as that's concerned. They don't want to go sit and listen to that shit. So that may have a lot to do with it too. But I think the main thing, yeah, you're right, Carter, is the TV thing. What's going on, D4? Sorry, man. Took me a minute to get to you there.
Oh, you're good. Not much, man. Just got home, finished live streaming, and jumped home.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to my boy D4 much lately. So I won't, we'll whenever you get in a better frame of mind and we can discuss the debacle that happened.
Oh, I watched it on NFHS Network.
Well, I'm talking about both games. 2 games we should have won and didn't. I don't want to bore these people in here with that. They probably heard enough of that from me the last couple of weeks because I can't, man. Carter, I can't shake it, dude. I guarantee you those kids and coaches have already moved on. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. Maybe I need to just let go.
You think about it like this, just like in college, most college players, even NFL players, especially NFL players, they just let a loss go, move on from it, no big deal. But the fans are always the ones that, are affected the most. I guess that's one thing I can't stand is people saying, just imagine how the players feel. Well, I've kind of seen that. I've been at UT's campus after a bad loss and seen just about every damn player having a damn good time after a hard loss.
Yeah, don't that piss you off?
Hell yeah, it pisses me off.
And seeing them smile. Sorry.
I know they got sweat equity and blood, sweat, and tears into it, but a lot of us have money into it, time invested also, and we're not supposed to be affected by it, I guess.
I agree, but I disagree. I agree with you. You're right, but I disagree about us not. I tell you, 47 years I've been around that program, and one of my issues this year, D4, that's another thing that I can't let go of, and just the fact that I've been around this program longer, really, than I've been a damn Tennessee fan. Because I didn't know shit about Tennessee football when I was 5 years old, but I knew my papa grabbing me by the hand and taking me to Burley Stadium on Friday night. I knew what that was. So, they got the sweat equity, and they're the ones out there running the ladders on Mondays and, and lifting the weights and all that. But I'll get over it. What's going on, Blake?
Hey, can y'all hear me? Because I don't think my connection's too good.
I can hear you. Go ahead, son. Get it off your chest.
All right. If y'all can hear me, anyway, I just wanted to say that this past week, of course, has been disappointing and stuff like that. But I'll say this: I think our offense could beat any team there. I just don't think our defense can stop anybody. I really don't. I think those injuries at the beginning of the year and stuff like that, we're losing those kind of players. And plus, we lost 9 players from defense in the draft over the last couple of years. Really, you can't replace those type of players when is competing for the same recruits. LSU's competing for the same recruits. Georgia's competing. And all these players are being from where we used to be because Nick Saban, I guess, when he switched, he's still a great recruiter. And I don't put some of it in his all. I think because we couldn't replace all those great players at that.
What's up, Trenton? What's up, Jackson? Jackson wants to know my opinion about Kyler Murray. He's having a really up and down year. And he's going to be fine. I think that offense is going to do better than I thought they would do. And Trenton, good to see you in here, buddy. Looks like I'm going to be down there Saturday all day, checking out some high school football championship style, three games. So at least, hey, there's one Green Devil that's going to make it to Cookeville a third year in a row.
I'm gonna go and buy me some Springfield stuff.
Well, I tell you, man, I've been torn over this all week. Part of me wants Betsy to win because keep it in the neighborhood, so to speak. And I know a lot of Greenville fans don't like Sean Witten. They think he's cocky and arrogant and whatever, but the dude's a good coach. And God, man, you hate to see a team do what they've done this year and go down there and fall flat on their face. So I really kind of think they're a team of destiny, and I think they're going to win. They can have one D4. We've still got 4. So either way, all right, JD, man, appreciate it. Veltro lives in Springfield. So that's my thoughts on it.
No, I hope they go down there and get smashed.
A lot of people feel like that. Damn it. Some of these youngins that come in here and watch my stream that I've been talking to the last few weeks, that's part of why I kind of want them to win.
We went down to that Battle of Rocky Top and got third. We lost to a team out of Texas. And
is that a football thing? I'm sorry for my ignorance.
Yeah, it was an 11 and under.
Okay.
It goes 15 and under on down to 5 and under. But my boy, he led them to third place, made the all tournament and everything.
Outstanding.
The only Greenville kid on the whole team.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, it's just like their coach said, if you want to win anything in East Tennessee, you're going to have a kid from Greenville.
No. Blake, sorry your shit wasn't working there.
I'm going to hop on here, Keith.
All right, Carter.
Y'all have a good night.
You too.
You too, Carter.
All right, see.
Hoss, I know you're not a high school football fan. Sorry, it's kind of turned that way here.
It's all good.
I can't get enough of it. Even in defeat, I can't get enough of it. Like I was a glutton for punishment, man. Going up to Elizabethton last Friday. I sat there with my buddy Jerry from the Bean Barn, and I didn't say 2 words in the first half. I was just sitting there. Every play I watched, I was reliving our game, thinking, "Damn it, this is what we should have done."
Well, with you being around the team a lot, you're kind of invested almost as much as they are. I know you're not in there taking the snaps or playing the plays, but still, you feel all those wins and losses with them.
Yeah, that's a fact. Trenton, I can feel the sadness in your typing about being upset. So I thought you had gotten hurt not last Friday, but 2 Fridays ago, because I thought for a while there I didn't see you out there, and I was kind of worried. I was like, oh shit. But obviously you're not hurt.
Let's put it this way, Trenton. I don't want the Elizabethton players to lose. I want your coach to lose.
Hey, they got a good pregame speech from '82. That had to be cool.
He plays for one of the suckiest teams in the NFL. So
I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't say. Hey,
I don't know a whole lot about Elizabethton, but how about them Rebels?
Yeah. Blah blah blah. That's
12 nothing shutout.
That's a disadvantage of being a Maryville fan. Nobody wants to hear it anymore. Kind of like Alabama, It's impossible to feel sorry for Alabama.
I gotta give Oakland credit though. They shut our passing game down.
Jackson asks, have you ever gotten real pissed off at a Greenville player for screwing up? No, I haven't. Not like real pissed off, sure, everybody gets frustrated, but shit happens, man. People make mistakes. I built my life on mistakes, so
I'll say something. It was dumb, or it was a dumb throw, or a dumb thing to do. Quit jumping off sides. But no, I ain't never got pissed off either.
Yeah, that's that's one penalty that just irritates the holy hell out of me.
Yeah, you're looking at the ball. Why jump
We're
off
supposed to be anyway, I beat myself up again tonight before the stream. I watched my video of the last Elizabethton game, and man, in the second quarter we had at least one defensive lineman that was already huffing and puffing and dragging ass. I'm not going to say his name, but
I know who you're talking about.
He better get his ass in the weight room this summer and start running laps, because we're going to need him next year.
Mm-hmm.
You say
I get really mad when I see players quit trying. That, like, if you make a mistake on the field, you fumble the ball, you throw an interception, even penalties, false starts or whatever, that's part of the game. But when you just stop trying, then that really irritates me.
Yeah, I guess I would agree. Sometimes they quit because they can't help it. They're just out of gas. And I saw that happen twice this year and never thought I'd see that happen. I bet I don't see it next year.
Well,
and as a Maryland fan, I don't see it happen a whole lot, but I saw it happen last year at Oakland when we lost 38-0, and it was something like even when we were down early and we still had a chance to come back in the game. I saw our players just quit.
I watched that game online, and I think y'all quit before the game even started because y'all didn't have T. Hodge back there.
Oh, the last year's Oakland game?
Yeah. It looked like they come out it looked like Maryville come out expecting to lose because T wasn't in there.
I don't think it would have mattered. That was just a great Oakland team last year. There's only one team beating Oakland last year. We know who that was, D4.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, what was I going to say? Somebody's got some background noise going on. It was something about Maryville. Shit.
We're the greatest defense on the face of the planet.
Yeah, if you say so.
I think our defense and offense last year would have made y'all look stupid.
We won 12-0 over Oakland. We were up 5-0 late in the fourth quarter. I kind of wish that the game had ended at 5-0 just because of how weird of a score that is.
That's crazy, yeah, 5-0. Man, I swear I thought I heard somebody up in Elizabethton say, it's 1-0 Maryville over Oakland. I was like, what?
I was just happy to shut them out after they shut us out last year. I didn't care what I wouldn't have cared if we had won 2-0, as long as we got the win over them.
Trenton, that Nolansville team was bad. I don't know if it was just that night. I'm sure losing Coutras, I think I'm saying his name right. We sat next to his parents, and I was surprised, to be honest with you, that they scored after that. I was surprised that they made it a game in the first half. That team was terrible.
That's what they had, is that one player.
Yeah, I mean, they got a couple other pieces. That little running back's pretty good, but without Coutras, they were just done. They weren't going to win that game anyway, I don't think. That one dude, I don't think could overcome the 3 or 4 dudes that Betsy has.
Well, if you look at it, in 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A is liable to come back to the East this year, and I think the Middle and West are just weak.
In all classifications?
Yeah, all classifications, like, Greenback in 1A, Megs in 2A, Alcoa 3A, mostly us, and now Elizabeth in 4A, Knox Central 5A, and Maryville 6A. I mean, they're liable just to sweep it.
Tiger Cat, nobody's talking smack about you, girl.
I'm definitely worried about the Ravenwood game. Ravenwood had our number the last time we played them, and really the time before that, even though we got a 1-point overtime win thanks to a blocked field goal. But Ravenwood's one of those teams that they're dangerous to play, and if Maryville doesn't show up against them, they're going to get beat.
I'm just at a freaking loss how Maryville and Alcoa are so good every year.
I can tell you.
They don't have outstanding players, but their entire team just plays as one. Everybody.
Yeah, but year in, year out, every stinking year for decade after decade. That's just crazy. There's something in the damn water in Blount County, and Heritage ain't getting any of it, and William Blount ain't getting any of it.
Well,
here's the thing, BBD. When you've been good for so long, you started being good, and then you have time in a game where you're up 40-0, and you can put in your second, your third, your fourth string players. So by the time the seniors on the team graduate and it's time for those second, third, fourth string players to become starters, they've already been playing for 2 or 3 years in almost every game in the season. So they've already got way more experience playing with the groups.
I understand how it all works, Aaron. Damn it. I think the biggest problem is there's just still not enough competition in the state at every level.
Let's just call a spade a spade. Maryville has Blount County All-Star Team A, and Alcoa has Blount County All-Star Team B.
You're not wrong.
Just like Elizabethton is Carter County All-Star Team, Greenville is the Greene County All-Star Team.
Yeah.
I think another thing does come down to coaching. We had Quarles for 16, 17 years, or however long it was, maybe longer than that. And his staff remained pretty much the same all the way through. And when Quarles left and Coach Hunt became our new head coach, the entire staff stayed the same as it was under Quarles. All of the coordinators and assistant coaches are the exact same as they were with Quarles. The only difference is the head coach.
Well, I think we're getting ready to see in 4A, at least for the next couple of years, Elizabethton's going to be really good. I know they're young this year. They're not going to be. I don't think they're going to be anything even remotely close to like what we've seen the last couple of years. But I think they're sitting pretty right now. If our kids don't get in the weight room and get serious, and I know the coaches will do all the right things and say all the right things, but in the end, it's up to the kids to buy in. And you can just tell, man. You can tell that Elizabethton team is a team full of kids that Witten could tell them that the damn earth is flat and goes on for 1 billion miles, and they would believe it.
I heard something that I haven't confirmed. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that Alcoa is moving to 4A next season.
I hope not.
I haven't confirmed that, but that is something that I've heard from multiple people.
That'd be bad news for them.
Yeah, they would be put in a division with us, and I don't think, as good as they are, I don't think that they could. They see during the regular season they don't take a beating, but if they
Except
have,
Maryville.
if they came to us, they'd have Maryville on the schedule, Greenville, Elizabethton. You know, we're not 3A. We're going to put a beating on them.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
also
if it's 650, if there's 650 there, like Jackson said, they're not really even close.
and
They're
don't get
still
me wrong, I think they can.
350 kids away.
I think they can still win state titles in 4 and 5A.
Yeah. I mean, in the right year, they could probably win it in 6A. I mean,
Well, I heard somebody also say that Maryville wasn't even supposed to be in 6A when they became 6A, that they just refused to 4A anymore.
They were supposed to be in 5A, but now they do have the numbers for 6A.
Right. We used to be 4A. Back in 05, I guess.
There was only 4 divisions back then, though.
Yeah.
well, boys, I'm going to call it a night. I have literally not been to sleep since Saturday. I'm getting pretty worn out and ready to hit the couch. Aaron, I'll get with you later on in the week.
Hope you have a good one, sir. Enjoyed talking to you.
You too, Hoss. Shit, man, I forgot you were still sitting in here.
That's all good. I was just watching this chat, all these thirsty comments when Tiger Cat entered, and then Lawtide jumped in here. I thought he might be going to get on here and throw his 2 cents in.
Wait a minute. Lawtide said stay off the mess, BBD. What's that all about? Well, anyway, yeah, it's a good stream tonight. A lot of valuable and useful information. Oh, I get it now, Lawtide. I get you. And D4, if you're listening, I'll holler at you later on this week too, man. Hoss, appreciate it, man.
Have a good one, sir. Peace to you.
Yes, sir. Always good talking to my boy Hoss and all my other Hosses in the house. You guys have a good one, and we'll holler at you. I'll be back on here sometime this week. I'm not sure what time or day, but take care, LT. And when you do get ready to officially retire, holler at me. I want that green screen. Mine's a little bitty thing. Y'all be good.